Mike Radich here, and I'm now joined on the phone by Strikeforce Veteran Dustin Ortiz. Dustin, how are you?
I'm doing good. How's it going?
I'm doing good. Dustin, you were supposed to have a fight August 18th at XFO 45 against Jeff Curran. The fight is off now because Jeff Curran suffered a hand injury. You also suffered a hand injury. First, let's start with Jeff Curran. When did you find out that he wasn't going to be able to fight?
Oh, man. I don't even know the exact date. It was probably, 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
A week before my last fight.
Mm-hmm. And when did you suffer your hand injury?
Last Saturday, during the fight.
Did XFO have another opponent lined up for you when you found out that Jeff Curran wasn't going to be able to fight, or they just scrapped it all together?
They just scratched it all together, which I was kind of surprised because we were set up to be the main event, so I was hoping to, maybe not be the main event, but still be on the card, because I was scheduled to fight that night, so I was kind of surprised that they just kind of scratched the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because I was, in my training camp ready for this fight, and, still wanting to fight, so took the other one.
How did your hand injury happen?
I was kind of like in I didn't have his back, but I was on the side of him, and he was up against the cage, and I just raining down punches and felt it, give out kind of, and I was like, whoa, what was that? Hit him one more time in the side of the head, and, when it happens, I do this every single day, so when I felt my hand kind of, when I wiggled my fingers and they started crunching around, something's wrong. So happened in the first round of the fight.
How serious is the injury?
It's broke. My hand's broke. The index finger right behind the knuckle. So I got to go back to the doctor tomorrow and really find out if I'm going to need surgery, pins, or if it's still in line and all that good stuff. So I'm hoping for the best.
Mm-hmm. Dustin, what's the more disappointing thing? Is it that you don't get an opportunity to fight Jeff Curran because, he fought in the UFC, fought in the WC, he's got a big name, or that you just aren't able to fight in general?
It's both. They're both right up there. Mm-hmm. I was really looking forward to that fight because, that's a huge name for me, and that was kind of what I was looking for. It was perfect timing. I had perfect training camp for it. That's really the name that I was looking to get under my belt, and it would have been a great fight. So that was a huge letdown, and then the hand. It's never good to be this injured, going into fights and after fights, you always have little injuries and stuff like that, but when something breaks, that's time that you're not in the gym developing, getting better, training, so, there's still things I'm going to continue to do, that doesn't include using my hand, but I'm out of work and stuff like that, so it's just a little bit of a setback. I just gotta set back myself and, take it as a positive note and give my body a rest and, do other things to make myself better.
I'm disappointed that this fight isn't going to happen because I thought that this would have been a good fight for you because you've been working at Rufus Sports, so this would have been a good fight to showcase your stand-up and how far you've come and that aspect, and it also would have been a good fight because, Jeff Curran, he just got released from the UFC's in a new weight class. If he beats you, then it's kind of like, he can, continue and can still compete at a high level, and if you beat him, then you just beat a big name, and that makes your stock go up a little bit higher. Have they said anything to you about rescheduling this fight?
No, not actually. I haven't heard of anything, and I completely agree with everything you just said. That's why I was really looking forward to this fight. But I haven't heard of any rescheduling or anything like that. So, when things happen like that, you just kind of gotta take it for what it is. It was an opportunity that didn't happen, and we're just kind of looking forward to the next thing. We're not going to hold on to something that isn't there. We're both injured right now. I got to, move forward with my injury and do what I got to do to recover and come back stronger than ever. So I can't just dwell on the situation. Oh, it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? I just got to move forward and look for there's other guys out there that I can fight that's going to make me, that much better and stuff like that. So I'm not just going to sit here and be like, I wish that would have happened. Let's try to make that happen. All that good stuff.
In September, you're supposed to have a fight for Legacy, at Legacy 14. Is that fight now, kind of in question because you don't know what the doctor's going to say, or, is it not going to be that long that you're going to be out and you're still going to be able to make that fight?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to be able to make that fight, which I was hoping for, because that would be another really good fight for me, which I was, looking forward to going straight out of this camp into another one, because I was just running, at 100 miles an hour, and I was really looking forward to that fight, feeling great for it. But no, my hand's not going to be ready for that fight. Which is, like I said, it's a little bit disappointing, and hopefully I can get something before the end of the year. I'm looking more towards November, December-ish to really be back at 100%, because it's my right hand, and it's my hand, it's my main tool, so I can't go into fights with broken hands and injured hands.
Right.
It's not a smart idea.
Well, on a positive note, your last fight at King of the Cage Sudden Strike, you fought Thiago Viga. You won the fight by unanimous decision. How did you feel about your performance in the fight?
I felt good. I went in there and I started off really good. I was sticking to the game plan, which was a major theme in this fight, because Thiago is just dangerous on the ground. So, that's not really the place I wanted to be. I wanted to keep it standing, and that's what I did. Worked on my movement, and after my hand, in the first round gave out, I felt good about the rest of my fight. Not using it, being able to switch it up a little bit. I wanted to switch it up, change it up a little bit more, but I didn't have Duke in my corner. He was at his house with his wife. They're getting ready to have a baby, so the corner that I did have, they weren't exactly, they don't exactly with me every single day, going over his game plan, my stand-up and stuff like that. So they did a great job, but I felt I could have switched up a little bit more if I would have had Duke there, another stand-up coach.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been training with Duke Roufus?
On and off for a couple months now. I think last year I came up for like a month and a half before my Tachi Palace fight with Josh Rave, and then went back home for a couple months to work and get some more money to come back up here. And I think I've been here for maybe 2 or 3 months now.
Mm-hmm. So you still live in Tennessee? It's not that you've made a permanent move up there?
No, I haven't made a permanent move. I'm looking to, but now that this hand injury, it's another setback. I got to go home and work and find some more money to come back up here and stay. So.
And how much do you think your striking has improved in the short time that you're working at? Where have you come from, and where are you at now?
Like leaps and bounds, man. It's come so far in such a short amount of time, and it really has to in order to hang with these guys at this gym. It's they're huge at stand up, and they're so good. It's like when I very first came here, like, I wasn't even looking forward to going to practice just because their stand-up was that good. I was like, damn, you know, I'm getting hit left and right, and so, you know, you catch on when you stay there, and you're in it day in and day out, and I've just gotten so much better, more comfortable, I would say, getting hit. My defense has gotten a lot better, and you know, now that I know their style, because they have a different, everybody has their own kind of style, and once you learn their style, then you can kind of turn it into your own game and use it kind of that way. So it's gotten a lot better. That's for sure. I was, you know, my last fight, I was moving, using my footwork, using my, you know, little things here and there, and pulled out the win, you know, pretty easily. So.
You have a wrestling background. Ben Askren, he's been working up there with Rufus Sport. Has he worked with you at all with wrestling?
Yeah, he coaches the wrestling, the wrestling practice. You know, I think it's Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and I mean, you know, he helps everybody out. He teaches the class for the fighters, the MMA fighters, the fight team. And he goes over, you know, individually, one-on-one, if somebody's, you know, needing help and stuff. So yeah, he's helped me out a lot since I've been here, and everybody really. So we haven't like set aside time with just us two or anything like that. But if I have any questions, yeah, I'll definitely go to him, and he's a super nice guy, and he'll help out anybody. So yeah, he's definitely helped me out a lot since I've been here.
Right.
He's great coach. I love his teaching. His details is really what kind of sticks out to me. So,
how much more have you learned from wrestling? Because obviously you have that base, but you know, working with a guy who's, you know, a high level wrestler as Ben is, how much has your wrestling improved?
I wouldn't necessarily say that my wrestling's improved. I've just kind of adapted it more to the MMA side of everything. In order for your wrestling to improve, you got to strap on your wrestling shoes. You got to be in a high-level wrestling room, strictly wrestling, and that's not really what we're doing. We're MMA wrestling, so we have gloves on. We're punching. We're striking. You know, we're using our jiu-jitsu because you can't train strictly wrestling to improve your MMA game. You know, that's going to be over a period of time. We're MMA fighters. We train MMA, so it's, you know, it's hard to say that my wrestling's got a lot better doing this. So it's more like my wrestling's gotten better for mixed martial arts, not for wrestling.
Dustin, you've had this little setback with the hand injury, but you've been a pro since 2010. You already have 11 fights. You fought for Strikeforce, Tachi Palace Fights, King of the Cage, some good organizations there. How happy are you with the way your career has gone so far? Because you've done a lot in a really short time.
You know, I'm pretty satisfied with how my career's going. There's some things, you know, that I would not change, but do a little bit differently. Like I need help in some situations, you know, outside the cage, in the cage. There's different aspects of the fight. You know, there's the fight, and then there's the media and things like that, and with sponsorship and really being able to do this full time without having to work and stuff like that. So with the fighting, I'm happy with that whole area of everything. And then there's just some things that I would change with training. And you know, when you come into this sport, there's a lot of things that you don't know that you just have to figure out through the whole time. And if you're not brought up in the right gym and things like that, then you don't really know what you're getting into. So you kind of got to take a little bit from everybody to figure out what you have to do to become, the next best thing, and and very successful. So, I'm happy with where I'm at right now. It's just a little setback. So,
yeah.
It's hard to prepare for a broken hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of like in the position where, what do I do now? Because this has never happened, and I'm not getting paid like the UFC would be paying me. So it's back to work I go, which is the disappointing part. Like what you said, yeah, I've been in Strikeforce, I've been in these top organizations, but yet I still got to go back to work. So that's the disappointing part. But the fighting and everything like that, yeah, I'm happy with what I'm at.
What do you do now when you go back to training? Because obviously with this hand, you won't be punching with it and stuff like that. But what do? Do you work more on conditioning? Do you just take mental reps? I mean, where do you go from here?
Yeah, conditioning, has never ever been a problem for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something I'm going to keep it up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to get out of shape or anything, if that's even possible for a flyweight guy.
Right. Right.
But it's going to be definitely more the mental aspect. Going over drills, you can never study too much, because in this sport, everything happens so fast that it needs to be out of pure reaction.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's where drilling comes in place. You just drill and drill and drill. So when somebody throws a punch just out of pure reaction, you just jab back, or you straight take them down, or something like that, whatever your game plan is. So it'll be more mental aspect, and of course, I'll be working on my footwork, and I'll get my jab real good, because I can't use my other hand. So, just working on my legs and stuff like that, whatever I can do to really, continue to get better without using my right hand.
Dustin, real quick before I let you go, do you have any sponsors you would like to thank, and is there anything you'd like to say to the fans?
Yeah, I just like to thank everyone, actually, just for all the support that I've been getting, Duke Rufus and the gym up here, they've helped me out tremendously with all my training, and helped me with my stand-up and get me to where I'm at right now. Diamond MMA, they've, got the best cup out there, and they've helped me out since I've been here as well. Franklin Athletic Club, when I go back home, they let me train there. Same with Nashville MMA, Tennessee Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Academy back in Tennessee. They helped me out with training and everything. So, friends and family, love them. Thank you guys for the support. Appreciate the interview.
Sure, no problem. Dustin, thank you for taking the time to talk. I really appreciate it. Get well soon, and hopefully we'll see you by the end of this year.
Absolutely. I appreciate it.